So yesterday, the big win for the Diamondbacks. They scored 15 runs to crush it yesterday. We gave it out on the show. Kind of want to maybe consider the White Sox here just because of the. I don't know if the pitching matchup is as solid that we can make fun of Zach Davies, but I think against Jose Urena, we just made it clear yesterday that we were kind of looking to. Urena has been hadn't cashed for any of his teams all year, really hadn't pitched very much all year, and really his career is over. Just picking up some innings here at the end of the season. I can't see much happening for Urania moving forward. But in this one today with Fott and Patino, got Fott coming in with 7.79 ERA in his last 4 starts. He's 1-3. Arizona's lost 9 of his last 13 starts. Arizona's done a great job here down the stretch. That's why they're in the position that they're in. They've won 7 of their last 9 games to, basically hold a pretty good grasp. It's not. We talk about how close these races are. We're down to 4 teams in the National League, no doubt, and Arizona's at the top of that group. Philadelphia clinched the wild card berth. They're the number 1. They're locked in. From there, you've got Arizona right now a game ahead of the wild card spot of the Cubs, and the Cubs are in. So if it ended today, we'd be talking about Arizona and the Cubs in there, with Miami's a half a game back. And they have a game in an extra game to play, basically, with this doubleheader today. So that makes that situation significant. Cincinnati, they're holding on. We'll give them a little bit of credit yesterday for their smashing win as well. So these motivation situations are super important and can't be overlooked in these games. I just feel like Arizona, this could be, $1.60 actually starting to pique my interest a little bit. I wanted to come in on the White Sox, and maybe this price is actually still going to keep me on Arizona. Like I said, they look good, smashing right now. White Sox have actually won 4 of their last 8 games. That's pretty good. That's probably like their best run of the season, it feels like. Did they have a winning streak at all during the year? White Sox have gone under in 10 of their last 15 games. Arizona's been a pretty solid over team. However, with Fott, despite his pretty gaudy numbers, he has gone under in 12 of his 17 games that he's pitched. So maybe a chance that this game could stay under this high number, but let's just take the Diamondbacks again. I think $1.60 is that. Do I have the right price on there, you guys? I thought I had $1.80. Okay, $1.60. That's getting pretty good motivation here, and the White Sox, have not pretty easy. I feel pretty square. I'm trying to find any way. I was trying to find any way at all to come on. Maybe even a $1.80 could get me on the White Sox, but I don't think $1.60 can. Hello to Lazzy as well, and Ray. Hello. So that's what we'll do with that. I'll take the Diamondbacks again. We went with them on the show yesterday. Why don't we do so again here today? All right. The Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Boston Red Sox. We know Tampa Bay has a motivation situation here, definitely. I think it paid off yesterday in a wild game that ended up being a 9-7. And Tampa Bay did get the win. A precarious situation for Tampa Bay, right? Well, not Tampa, but they're not motivated. That's right. They're 10 games up in the wild card. Keep thinking that their game would be significant because of their race with the Orioles, but it just feels like it's slipping away. So I'm not sure. I mean, you could consider them to be motivated, but you saw with, what Dre was saying in the chat already. I mean, Baltimore, they know their magic number. So with a 2.5 game lead, that is not a lot, but just 5 days. It's a lot. It's going to take a lot. So there definitely is motivation for the Rays here in this game to get it done, and the price is okay as well. I kind of want to trust Bello again here, but Glasnow certainly makes it a tough contest. Take a look at some of the numbers here. Glasnow, 5.72 ERA in his last 5 starts, and Tampa Bay's lost 5 of 9. Maybe they are feeling comfortable in their wild card position. Bello has struggled of late with an 8 ERA over his last couple of starts. Boston, of course, has lost 18 of their last 25 games. So I think I can trust Tampa here as a road favorite. Gosh, I want to take some of these dogs, some of these spoilers, but I'm just not sure I can right now. I think the price is just still giving me enough motivation. Tampa's got to know, they still have a chance. I mean, they do obviously know. And I'm not saying everyone is going to be based here on the motivation. I don't want to just broad brush it. And let's see, Mike says he had Tampa yesterday, so maybe not today. My computer printout says take Boston. Computer printout does not take into account. I don't have an algorithm, a thing that I can punch in that says which team is going to which team is playing for a playoff berth. We know Tampa's in. But they're still playing for a division title. There's just maybe enough motivation. So $1.20, and I might be okay with this price. Burley's on Boston today. He's trying to keep it real. Rays going over. So I wanted to consider certainly Boston. I mean, the losing 18 of 25 is also a pretty big concern. Like I said, Bayo has been great. He's been great to us. We've done well backing Bello. Bello. He's Dominican. I forget how it is, but nonetheless, 8 ERA in his last 2 starts is also troubling. So Tampa was able to bust it out yesterday, still get 9 runs on the road here in a typical Wrigley kind of slugfest. So nothing I can do about it, Mike. If it's a trap, it's a trap. I mean, a trap, it'll have, I'm trapped. I'm in the trap. Need someone, to come get out of the trap. Someone with a phone and, help the wild animal out of the trap because he's been trapped again. So I'll try it. Computing all the numbers to me say this is a good spot. Taking Boston here, yeah. You wish you were getting a bigger price, and again, it could be a little bit built in that maybe the situation is the Orioles, the Rays can feel a little bit like they're not going to get there. They're not going to get there for the division title. They still can. All right. At the Reds and the Guardians, the Reds did while they fell behind. They came back, did a great job yesterday to get the win over the Guardians. We gave it out in the Discord yesterday, the Reds, and here with Abbott going up against Bieber, showing Bieber $1.25, 7.5 over 20, and rising right now. This one has been on the move. It's been steamed already. Might even be seeing some 8s out here. I want to check this out with Cincinnati and Cleveland. Yeah, you got the Square Book at 8. You got some Vegas books at 8. Looks like some of the offshores and some of the big U.S. online books are still at 7.5. In this one, look, there were 18 runs scored yesterday in this game. I thought it'd be a low-scoring game, but why was that? Lucas Giolito was pitching. What was I thinking? Yeah, I was high on Green, and Green, I wasn't looking too swift early. But the Reds came through. Thank you, Thomas, for stopping in, and like it, smash it, share it. Sounds like a 1990s pop song. All right, let's take a look with the Reds here and the Guardians. Usually the Guardians, some of these home favorite roles, they have been, considerably under, and the Guardians have gone under in four of their last 6 games. Abbott's gone under in 13 of his 20 starts. Definitely has hit the wall. That's kind of what we're saying as he's been in this tailspin a little bit. Has Abbott hit the wall? And it looks like maybe we can make it official. About a 5.8 ERA in his last 5 starts. Been profitable all season, riding a lot with Abbott here. Bieber hasn't been good either down the stretch with a 7.31 ERA in his last 3 starts. The Guardians have lost 6 of their last 8 games. The Reds have lost 5 of 8, and that's been bad news because they are now a game and a half out of the wild card spot. Feels like every game is must win, but this is really, really crucial here for the Reds. They should have pretty much the proper motivation here. I don't know, maybe I am going to go the motivation angle on the whole card today. They got it done yesterday in a slugfest when they needed to. They've won 2 in a row when they've needed to. Unfortunately, remember, they have to pass 2 teams basically to get in. One being Miami. They're a game and a half back of the spot, but Miami's ahead of them, and of course Cubs and Arizona, who are in the playoff picture, ahead of them right now. So I'm playing the playoff motivation angle. Give me the professional athletes that have something to play for here with a pitcher that's had a good season against another pitcher that maybe is winding it down. I don't know, Bieber. I mean, I guess you'd trust him to continue on his career. I'm not kicking him out of the league or anything, but maybe with the full spring veteran arm, he'll be fine in the future. Still, he's got mileage left. Not dumping on him here in this game. I'm just going to take the younger arm, the motivated team, the Reds here. They're probably $1 plus $1.10 or $1.15 or so. And I imagine it might come in on the Reds here today. Burley says Reds and under. The Nationals are going to take on the Orioles in a battle here. The close rivals with Patrick Corbin going up against Grayson Rodriguez. Big favorites here for the Orioles. They're the ones that are in charge of the division. Just a little bit of motivation, but like I said, I think they can feel like they've got it. And quite frankly, they've got an easy matchup here, as we talked about yesterday. And we didn't get it right. We called for a run line victory, and they could only win 1-0. But good pitching again from Bradish. Orioles got to feel pretty good about the way the pitching has been moving forward here in this spot. I mean, they're going to have their work cut out for them, but they're still number 1, so why not? Total here, 8 under 20, still in this one. So it kind of feels like it's still a high price, when you're talking about the type of effort that you got with Washington yesterday to stay in the game. And maybe this one I can be a little bit too high, and I feel like I couldn't trust them yesterday on the run line. I'll probably have to switch to the Nationals today after that. I mean, look, the Nationals have still done us well. Thomas says, give me Baltimore. So with Rodriguez, you still have, he's had a great season as far as what kind of expectations that you were going to get. Orioles have won 13 of his 22 starts, and he has a 3.12 ERA in his last 3 starts. Orioles are 7-3 in their last 10 games here down the stretch. And, it hasn't been great. Darren says he's on the under in this one. Hello to you. Corbin, a 4.24 ERA in his last 3 starts. I'm going to be on Washington here on the run line. plus a run and a half at probably even money or so, maybe even minus $1.05, $1.10. Gerardo, hello. Give us some soccer plays, maybe. I know that we got some. What do we got? La Liga today. What do we have? What else do we have? Italy or France? I'm trying, and some type of EFL Cup. Trying to look for. We've got this baseball. Should be enough excitement for the day, but the tennis wasn't too thrilling overnight. All right, so give me the Nationals in this one. How about the Pirates taking on the Phillies? We already talked about this one, kind of at the top of the show with the Phillies, right? They had a little too much beer, too much champagne, celebrating their wild card, so the lines went way down. We're on the Pirates, talking about motivations here. This is the oldest one in the book, and you're probably not going to get me off of it today. When the team, I don't know what it was, the social media team, it films they're rolling in those trucks like they're taking it to the snack bar with rows and beers and champagne, trucks, and it's going to be a fun night. And now you got to come back here for not an early start, but when it starts there at 6:40. So forget about it. We're on the Pirates. Should be a premium, but Pirates are don't have anything to play for either. So who knows what will happen here? Probably sleepwalk through this game, 2-1. Anything could probably be premium on the under, but let's do it. Let's go Pirates and double play here. Pirates and under. Double freemium, it feels like to me. I love these situations. Too bad it's such a popular angle. Remember the Phillies, hey, if they would have lost last night, they'd be $1.60 here at least, if not higher. And I think this line's right. It's like $1.15 at some spots. So you're not getting. It doesn't feel like you're getting the best price, but you're probably getting maybe a free square here with the Pirates. I'd just take the Pirates. Oviedo, don't slide on him as far as his accomplishments this season. I mean, 2.78 ERA in his last 6 starts. Pirates have won 7 of his 11 games, and Pirates have won 16 of their last 26. Suarez has been fine, but Phillies, they're on a roll, but they were pretty excited. And why not? All you got to do is get there. Thank you, guys, for the great soccer. Wow, I'm really is that all I got to do is ask, and I shall receive. So I might come in. I might find a premium. I mean, feeling pretty hot right now. As far as my hot streak, seems like I can't miss, but feels a little lucky too. Got a little lucky. Apologies if anybody else couldn't get the those best lines. We do try to send it out. I'll try to send it out the worst line, and we're just getting on some things at good prices, getting on them early. That's my job. Lazzy on Milan. Ron's got the spreadsheet play. Maybe I can save that comment and bring it up when it's there, but you see it there in the chat. Lazzy with more with Inter. Real Madrid. I feel like I'm feeling pretty square here. Gerardo, thank you. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Thank you, guys. I'm in the baseball segment, but you see all the soccer there. Wonderful. Appreciate that. All right, maybe Darren went under, Burley went Pirates. And I might be involved. I might get fired up for some league soccer right now. I mean, just want to handicap everything. And now they're giving me some props on the site to tout my wares. Watch out. Here are the Yankees with Garrett Cole. He still wants to go out there and compete, going up against Barrios here. Yankees feel like an interesting spoiler opportunity here today against the Blue Jays. But the Blue Jays, what can you say about Toronto's efforts here down the stretch? Yeah, they lost yesterday in this one. And, we gave out the under. We pretty much said it was going to be just, low scoring pitchers. Ordered it up. Room service special on the show yesterday with this one, calling for a low scoring game. And it's going to be the same today, I'm sure. You got Garrett Cole right now. He's not going through the motions. He's just Garrett Cole. So he can go out here and rock it against Toronto today. He's got a 1.82 ERA in his last 6 starts. We know the Yankees, the writing's been on the wall for that long. So he's just going out here doing a great job right now. He's been terrific. And the Yankees have won every one of those starts. He's 4-0, but they've won all 6 of those games. Berrios, 2.88 ERA in his last 4 starts. Feels like an instant replay of last night's game, one way or the other. Last night, 2-0 Yankees with King, who we said on the show. King, I mean, he's looked good. Poor Gausman, he does a good job, doesn't get run support, makes him look bad. I know they don't like him across the street, but I don't know. I don't know what his situation was. As far as Berrios, they've gone under with Berrios in 11 of his last 15 starts. So I'm taking the under in this one for sure. Not sure on the side today, actually, but again, Yankees feel like a little bit of spoiler, with the headlines and the way it's come out here about trying just to get to 500. Is that enough motivation for a team? It doesn't seem like it to me. They'd only need one more win. It seems more like a joke if you're the Yankees. Yeah, you don't want to be that team, but what are you going to be really? Have you really been reduced to a line of copy in a sports almanac? If you know what one of those is, we talked about that yesterday. Last Yankees team to go under 500. Won't be this one. They'll win a game here. Might be today. I'll take the under for sure. But the Yankee, the headline writers, you know what they're saying in the post, and they're looking, to get to that 500, to avoid that. And Mike has all the algorithms to prove me correct when it comes to Yankees baseball. And for them to win, their 81st game on September the 27th, which is a primes of 9 and 81 games. You know what I'm saying? 9, 27, 81, and 81. Only a coincidence if the Yankees win tonight. All right, here we go. Marlins. Okay, we'll try to throw. Let me see if we can't get anything on this. See if we can get this pitcher situation right. See if we can get these lines right here. I'm just guessing, and that the total looks too high here for me. This, I believe, is game 1 with Cueto and Senga. Let me check 3 different sources right now, only because if it was the middle of the season, you'd kind of just throw it and say, hey, it's a doubleheader or whatever. But this is huge. This is huge in terms of Major League Baseball and how it relates to the pennant race, of course, today. Because the Marlins, missing a game yesterday, having to play a doubleheader in itself is a pretty big inconvenience. Back in the day, even before, it was like the standard would be a ton of doubleheaders right at the end of the season. But I'm talking about the 50s. Okay, so the Marlins are half a game back right now of the Cubs for that last playoff spot, and they've got a doubleheader here against the Mets. And the pitching yesterday, we knew it was going to be Garrett and Lucchesi, but now it looks like we've flopped it up a little bit here, and maybe we're going to get Cueto and Senga. Now, if I see that matchup, I think I got I'm trying to, let me see if the line's coming out yet. It's not. Anybody see a line? I don't. So, but I'm going to say that Senga, I would think, would be a pretty considerable favorite, even though the Mets have no motivation. Because, look, if the Marlins are going to throw out Johnny Cueto, love Johnny Cueto, love watching him pitch, love watching everything, but he's still Johnny Cueto, and this is not the best situation that the Marlins have right now. The pitching is broken down just a tiny bit here down the stretch, so they have to go with Johnny Cueto in this double. I mean, I guess there could be worse options. I don't know what they might be, but so Senga, because he's been so strong, he has to be a favorite in this game. I've seen some prices that look a lot. People are, have some prices out there, and it was much lower than this, and I just don't see it. So I would say, I'm going to change the total here. I feel like maybe it's going to be because of Senga and maybe the bats on the, could it be 8/20? Could it be 8/15? I'm going to say 8/20. Just feels like with Senga, you got to order it up a little bit lower. So I would say, unless anybody has any objections or any suggestions in the chat, that this is going to be the line on the game today, and I'm going to probably, maybe see what the line is when it really is released, and then make a decision from there. Do you guys, what do you guys think of that line? Because Mets, they've lost 4 straight. They haven't looked good at all. But Senga, they've won 8 of his last 11 starts. I mean, he's been terrific. The Marlins obviously have, the ultimate motivation to try to get to the postseason here, but it's not great with Cueto. Okay, Ray says going under my number, 8.5 over. So, okay. So maybe, because remember, I was already leaning. I was like, yeah, let's get it to 8. And I suggested, Thomas says, 8, I mean, too high. Yeah, no, I get you. I felt what you were saying. We moved in the right direction. Ray's saying maybe even lower, 8/15 or lower, Ray. So I'll leave it at that. We'll move on to game 2. My pick will be based on, you can just take it whatever it is. If it is what some folks have reported as the potential line here in this game, which is much closer to like a pick'em or something like that, then we are all over the Mets. Even as poorly as they've played, I've just got to think that Kodai Senga is out there still trying very, very hard. And he's a pretty terrific pitcher, even against a motivated Marlins team. So I may have that wrong, you guys. Should we move Senga down? Should it be closer to a pick'em? Should it be $1.30 maybe for the Mets? I think Senga is that good even in this spot. Now, with Braxton Garrett against Joey Lucchesi and the proper motivation, I think the Marlins here will be favored in this one. Maybe it could be a pick'em, but maybe I'm just a bad odds maker. So, I'm not seeing really any release prices, or any kind of. Let me see. I always check the, network of action. You know what I mean? Let me look at that. Okay. No, they have Garrett at $1.30. Okay, $1.37.5. But do they have the other game? No, the other game they list no line. Okay, so maybe this is what I saw. Okay, so because I write it down and I'm like, sometimes I'm using multiple sources. I try to grab the first line and don't ever. Sometimes you see like yesterday the look ahead. We were talking about look ahead lines, right, in football, and I'm like, I have 14 written down, but I forget that I wrote it down, 10 days earlier or 7 days earlier. And I like to see those look aheads. Now it's different in baseball. We know that. All right. So here in this one, you've got Lucchesi. He's actually been some of the best efforts of his career here. Maybe he did have one stretch, I remember, with San Diego, of course, but maybe this is even better than 1.96 ERA in his last 3 starts. Mets have, struggling, no doubt. And the Marlins have done, an okay. I don't even want to give them that much credit right now. They've kind of choked here down the stretch. They've won 6 of their last 10, and they've won the last 2. But the pressure's on here today in this doubleheader, and I'll just jot these lines down or whatever your lines are, and I guess I can just make picks on them, right? It seems like I like the Mets in game 1 and the Marlins in game 2. So those are my picks. I'll go Mets in game 1 and Marlins in game 2. Oh, Mike. I didn't think of that. Oh, yeah, no, I get it. Okay, let's move on. But that, double headers, sometimes we kind of just pass over them when we did the show, when Mindy and I did the show. Cubs here will take on the Braves with Jameson Taillon going in this one. And we've talked about the Braves. They've done a nice job here, right? Kind of just biding their time a little bit, is bringing, different pitchers in here. We're not seeing all their, and we know they've got enough pitching, even with a few nicks here and there. But here you got Darius Vines going in this one. He's from Oxnard. And he's favored, which, again, the Braves don't have any motivation, but you do have the Jameson Taillon factor here, right? We never want a piece of Jameson Taillon, or do we today? I mean, the Cubs have the motivation here. They still are, no matter how you look at it, playoff caliber. They're in. They're 7 games over 500. They're in right now. They actually, have all the, they win some games quite impressively, quite frankly. So I'm probably going to be on the Cubs here. You got a young pitcher. This is something that Jameson Taillon maybe can handle. The Braves, what's my motivation, Braves? Other than just, that stellar record. But it's not going to be some monumental record. It's just going to be a nice 100-plus win season. And again, when you're starting a pitcher like a Darius Vines here, you're just playing out the stretch, getting pitchers, giving them their moments, giving them their chance in the major leagues to show something so they can become, he had 1 start. He went 6 innings and allowed a couple of runs. So Atlanta's won 4 of their last 5 games. Cubs have won 3 of their last 4. And Cubs need it, obviously. They're fighting them. No matter what, the Cubs win and Miami wins 2, they're tied. And so Cubs will be feeling the pressure and following that doubleheader. And I'm going to take the Cubs here with Taillon, with those bad numbers. I don't even want to give them to you. No, I said the good numbers, but the bad numbers is that they just have not won a lot of games with Taillon. And maybe his numbers would suggest that, he's better than his 1-loss record. Maybe he didn't get the run support. But more so, it's been more on Jameson Taillon not ever living up to certain expectations. They're going to need some type of contributions from Jameson Taillon should they make this playoffs. I say playoffs. And remember, there'll be no 1-game playoffs anymore. It's all tiebreakers and stuff. So there is a certain situation with the tiebreakers in the American League, and that favor. I believe I want to say they favor Seattle. I should. Well, we're on this game, so let me continue on. Maybe I have it written down somewhere. Nonetheless, the Cubs here for me. I'll take the Cubs against the Braves. It's not even a good. Doesn't even feel like a great price here. What run line? $1.45 or so. But I'm gonna take the Cubs on the run line. And Thomas just go right against me. Remember when Thomas and I would just agree on every game? Seems like for the last week we've been butting heads, Thomas and I. It was probably when I started teasing Thomas about we're always agreeing, and he felt like I was singling him out for just tailing me, which I would be honored if someone tailed me. But I know Thomas is an independent thinker. We were just on the same page for much of the month. But right now, I don't think I'm not paying attention, Thomas. We're clashing on games here of late. But I feel like I'm more crazy. I'm more, you guys know me now. The ones that have stuck here with me, and uh, what I've been doing, a little bit more volatility here late in the season. So I'm willing to, like I said, I was disappointed that I wasn't more on more dogs. That's why I was I envied our cappers that were sticking to it. And of course, I mean, I've recovered big time here over the last month in my Major League Baseball selections because I've been more uh, apt to play uh, underdog teams or teams without good records and good statistics. But only because I've increased that because I feel like the end of the season has gotten me to that point because I expect more volatility at this point. I should understand that there's volatility in the middle of the season as well, but I just get married to the good teams, I think. So, and the good pitchers that win, that's, what kept me afloat. Can I say that? To allow me to have a great run late. I'd be in the postseason, right? My record would make it to the postseason. We didn't, we struck, we were hot, and we made it through, and then we're in the drive. All right, give me the Cubs here in that one. All right, A's and Twins here. Want to say it's that easy in the postseason? It's not, but or in the end of the season. A's and Twins here, huge favorite, obviously for the Twins. No need to be, I would think, but if the game meant something, they'd be even a bigger favorite. The way the A's have packed it in. Yesterday, the Twins won it 11-3. And they were just going through the motions. It felt like. So easy win yesterday, probably be an easy win today. I would think. I don't think I can. I don't think I can get with the A's here. It's going to be a Twins run line spot, and probably played too many run lines in the middle of the season. Too many run lines. Period. I'm going to take the run line here on the Twins. Lopez a 3.79 ERA in his last 3 starts. Twins have won 9 of their last 13. A's have lost 10 of 12. Estes, this will be his second start. Went 4 1/3 in his first start, giving up 6 runs. I'm going to take the run line with the Twins. Probably just mash along. Pretty big move to the under. Let me see here. In fact, I hope I didn't miss any line moves on some of those other games. Just talking along like I am, but I think this one definitely has moved lower to the under 8 under 25 now. I mean, that's a whole half a run and then some. So I hope I didn't miss anything on those others. Not going to go back and check, but I think we were taking sides anyways. So pretty big move on the under, and I've got to believe I know they scored 11 runs yesterday. I just expect the Twins to score all the runs today, but I don't think it's going to go over. The thing is, these Twins games like this where they've been about favored by this much, but when Twins are consistently favored, we know they're pretty decent at home. 46-33. They usually do pretty well at covering run lines and having games go over. Not the best run line team, but in games where they're considerably favored, not ones where they're laying a run and a half in a closely rated game. So I think if you're talking about this game, Darren, I trust the move. In fact, the move is so solid, I'm going to give it out right now. I'm giving out Twins run line and under for a double play here on the show. We're going to have a graphic soon. Double play. We'll need them when we get to college basketball and stuff like that. I'll be giving out so many picks. Hopefully we will be swimming in the dough like Scrooge McDuck. So I think it's under. I think it's it was a very strong under at 8.5, under 20, under 25. At 8 under 25, it's a little scary here. Nobody will. I mean, yeah, this one's pretty square. I'll just move on. I know that I've seen on a couple shows we've talking about going on and laying big favorites. I'm trying to mix in some good dogs here, but this is one not too interested after what we saw yesterday. Dodgers and Rockies. Look, I mean, you look at what happened in this series yesterday. There's the volatility for you, right? I mean, the Rockies were able to get a low-scoring game in Game 1, and then Dodgers still crushed them in Game 2. So I think anything could happen probably in this game. 210 is actually there's no motivation for the Dodgers, so maybe the Rockies can win here, but it does seem super cheap on the Dodgers to a certain extent with Emmett Sheehan on the mound here. I would almost actually prefer. I might even lay a Dodger run and think that I'm expecting what I saw yesterday. There could be some players out for sure. I mean, we've seen Mookie already rest in the game in Game 2 yesterday, and they busted this big number 11 runs. So that's what it seems like, Mike. But the Dodgers have just constantly gone out there time and time again and still bashed somebody. Now, at least when the Rockies had, I don't want to call Anderson, and what the Rockies did in Game 1, but the Dodgers slept through Game 1. At least this is a night game. Yesterday, they bashed it out yesterday with Miller, by the way. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Dodgers on the run line here. This might be a lot of runs scored in this game. I don't know if I can use it as a premium. Is it down to 11.5 yet? No, it's 12 over 20 now. It's going up. So give me a Dodger run line here. These are all proceed with caution. This is like some of those contender series bets. You don't know what's going to happen, so some people just throw these type of games out. Not me. It's a professional baseball game. We're going to have a bet. We're going to have a pick, but it's going to be the Dodgers on the run line here with Sheehan. If the Dodgers had any motivation, they'd be 250 for sure. So it's baked in the cake, but does it give a little bit of value? I told you they were going to win 11-2. And I just equate it to yesterday as far as the first game. Remember, Caleb Ferguson was up against Anderson. If you looked at the two pitchers, you'd probably, Anderson could probably hang in there. And the Rockies were the ones that did the job, and the Dodgers weren't ready. So I'll take the Dodgers on the run line. I'm square. Call me square today, and that's fine. I was in pocket on the Rockies in Game 1, but tough to give out any plays there. Actually, we did give out the total yesterday on the Dodgers-Rockies Game 2 on our sponsor video on the website, where I give out a pick every day and do a commercial for a website. We did give out the over on the Dodgers-Rockies, so we were able to get something off to you. Always free picks here on the network. All right, I think you got a few comments up here for thank you on this game. Hello to Charles today. Nice to see you. How you been? And maybe a little bit of under here. I'm thinking, me and Thomas. I'm not fading Thomas ever. But I'm thinking runs. It's hard with teams not with motivation to come in with a premium in the game, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not a good play. All right, you got Dunning and Canning in this one between the Rangers and the Angels. The Rangers are embroiled right now in this hot race, and they've done a terrific job as the division leaders. And as I said, I think nothing has changed right now, despite both teams losing yesterday. Talking about Texas, talking about Houston. If you're Texas, If I'm in the back of my mind, I think 2.5 games. Yes, you're going to try to put pressure on your players. Players not even sure. 2.5 games is going to be hard to make up. Don't lose this one, Texas. This is a pretty good price on Texas today, man. I don't care. $1.55. I'm super square. I'm on Texas for sure here. Look, they won the game yesterday, or no, they lost the game yesterday, 9-3, with Bradford and Detmers. Don't want to misspeak on a loss like that. But Dunning, 5.5 ERA in his last 3 starts. Canning, 4.43 ERA in his last 4 starts. The Angels, just 2-7 though for Canning in his last 9 starts. We know the Angels. I mean, they still have lost 20 of their last 28 games, and Texas was on a winning streak. I'm not going to let it phase me here. It looks like I'm getting some type of discount at $1.55. It says $1.65 on screen. I'll leave it at that. But does yeah, we know the Rangers, for whatever reason, there is a problem with the Rangers road, and it's a big enough problem that they're not going to be able to get anything done in the postseason. It looks to be really happening. Like the road, but I'm going to try them here at this price. We've got a consensus in the chat. You don't even need me today. You don't even need me today. Feel like we're going kind of chalky on some of this now. But I'm big on motivation. Rangers certainly have it here. They had it yesterday too, but it didn't work out. We'll say Bradford. Definitely don't trust him as much as I do a guy like Dane Dunning. Bradford was kind of like a piecemeal situation for Texas right now with the starting pitching here down the stretch. I know Dunning isn't overwhelming. Canning can be okay, but I think Dunning is a much better option than Bradford. So maybe they can keep that under control today and not let the Angels score 9 runs. Already see a move, I think, to the under, right? Yeah. This total on screen is already, oh no, that's right, 8.5 over 25 or so. But it was, it did open a little bit higher. And even though this might point to an over, man, Texas has gone over in 24 of their last 32. I might think that this one might be going under. Not a pick here yet on the show, but I'll take Texas. Astros and Mariners, the other big series here in the American League wild card situation. The Mariners a half a game back right now of Houston. I mean, this is it. It feels like if Toronto's going to be kind of comfortable in their position, these two are playing for the last position right now. And the Mariners got that win. I haven't gotten this series right so far. And that so this one maybe helped me out a little bit in the chat because feels like I'm 0 for 2 getting this one right. And I almost want to switch back now if the Mariners are going to be a slight dog here. I want to switch. I want to get back on the Mariners. So I lost with the Astros. Mariners win. I lost with the Mariners. The Astros win. In reverse order, but I'm going to end up taking the Mariners, I think, here in this one with Miller against Framber. I think that maybe there'll be some runs scored. The total is still 8 under. It's still 8 under 15. Framber has a 4.1 ERA in his last 4 starts, and Miller has a 6.75 ERA in his last 3 starts. The Mariners, I mean, why have they gone through this, late season tailspin? Has it been because of that pitching? But the Astros also kind of giving it away here. So I'm going to be back on the Mariners, I guess, unless you guys can talk me out of it. Thomas is on the Mariners, finally. Ray says the Astros, and that's what I was thinking going into the game two after they won game one. Just stick with the metrics here, I think, is what I feel like doing. Or sticking with I've got a game of obvious toss-up game. Why not just take the little bit of plus money? Isn't it a toss-up here? Is Framber that much better? Miller's had some moments this season. Framber does have more. Yeah, he's better as far as more experience and more. I get all that. The number, but the number Miller had some moments. So maybe that's why they're favored. Framber, it's obvious why they're favored because of Framber. Charles is on Seattle. I'm on Seattle here. Give me the Mariners at home. For a little while there, I was hot on the Mariners. So maybe I'll give it a little bit back with them. All right, the Padres going to take on the Giants. Is it worth talking about? Probably not. But I'm just going to take the Giants because, of course I'm going to go against the Padres now after the more drama. The latest story is Josh Hader wouldn't go into the game for 4 outs because the Padres were eliminated from pennant contention. Just basically turned down. The manager said no. Well, he actually calls his own shots. What he's available, when he's available, how long he's available, and he's available for 3 outs. He's never available for really any more than that. Maybe if it was Game 7 of the World Series, I mean, maybe, but not in a game where they weren't eliminated just yet, or the results were like obvious. The Padres were out of it, so he didn't want to come into the game for 4 outs. So and twice actually in the last week, the Padres ended up losing the game. They might end up a game or two short. They might end up winning a bunch more games here now that their pressure's really off of them. And maybe if you can point to one thing, maybe it was just those 1 out, that 1 out that you couldn't get, and then you had to bring in the other game a rookie when you could have went out there, on back-to-back nights or something, and not some rookie getting lit up in the 9th inning. So those are the problems you have when you're paying players, and but that's what general managers have to decide. So you can praise them all you want, but again, there's dollars and there's cents, and I'm not talking about pennies. So just give me the Giants in this one. The Padres obviously could care less.